Hi, if you would describe your excitement for your first NCAA competition. You just had your first SECs. Now, obviously, this is something had to be very disappointing not to get to do last year. But what are your emotions going into this regional?
I'm super excited. All the seniors always talk about postseason and it being the most fun part of season, and because it got taken away last year, I feel like all the underclassmen are super excited and just ready to experience it.
I know you for that, Scott. Yeah.
You know me so well. Uh, when when you were held out of some events over the middle part of the season, uh, how how were you lobbying a lot to get back in there? Were you able to tell yourself to be patient? What were those feelings like? Thinking, I need, was it kind of a tug of war, thinking I need to be taking care of my body because this Achilles is giving me some trouble, and now that you're on the back end of that, and obviously had a great performance coming back, starting postseason at SECs, how do you regard that whole experience?
I think the biggest thing was patience, like you said. Obviously, I did want to compete and wanted to contribute as much as I can for my team, but because our team was so deep and the depth that we have is amazing, like there was nothing to worry about. I knew if I couldn't do it, someone else could. So I definitely wanted to, but I did have to be patient so that I could be fully healthy for this part of the season.
It's easier to look back now, right? And say
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah.
Sarah talked about it like unleashing the beast almost. I mean, do you feel like that's where you guys are at this point in time?
Yeah, I was listening to her, and I definitely agree. Our team is beyond amazing, and I think it's just time for us to show it. We show it every day in practice. We've had a couple inter squads recently that have been really, really good, like really good. So I just can't wait for people to see that, and I can't wait for us to put it all together.
How do you channel those nerves and that positive energy then? Is that the challenge now? I mean, because everything else has been repping so much.
I think we just have to build off what we've done. Like I said, we've done really well with back-to-back inter squads, like we're gonna have to do in these next two meets. So I think just remembering our training and knowing that we've done it before and we can do it again in front of judges and actually competing against people.
I don't think we've got to talk to you since you won your specialist award. What does that mean to you?
That means a lot. I don't even know how to explain it. It just is an honor to like be recognized in the NCAA and the SEC, being one of the hardest conferences I feel like for gymnastics. So it means a lot.
Win an award in this league, you've got to feel like you've accomplished something, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many amazing gymnasts, and so I don't know. I just feel honored.
Well, you should. Good job.
Thank you.
I assume you're planning to do all around, so you won't be going right. You won't be going in and on and off the floor like some of the gymnasts will. What do you think that's going to be like? And Sarah said y'all have or might be practicing that with people having to go to to leave the floor. Is that going to be a distraction at all for you, or are you kind of like when you're competing, you're kind of zoned in anyway? Yeah. What will that be like for you, since you probably will be staying out there the whole time?
I think it'll definitely be different. I know we channel each other's energy and we ride on our energy of our teammates, and like the people competing depend on the energy from the people who aren't. So I think it'll be different, but like Sarah said earlier, it's something that we can't control. So we have to try our best to like not let it affect us in a negative way.
Is there this idea that you just kind of expunge everything you have because you don't know whether it'll be your last time?
I'm sorry, can you repeat it?
Because you don't really know whether it's going to be your last time. I mean, you don't want to regret, right?
Right.
Not having something.
Right. I think that at this point in the season, like it's the qualify and continue. So I think you just have to give it your all every time you go. Obviously, just in case it is your last time, but just to put the best foot forward to continue the rest of the season.
You do any in the regular season, you're just trying to do your best, and you hope to win. But if you don't, well, that's the way it goes. But this is different. I mean, two teams out of four advance. Friday night, 2 teams out of 4 advanced. Saturday night, will you let yourself do a little scoreboard watching, or you try to avoid that?
I try to avoid that as much as possible. I think for us to do our best, we just need to focus on ourselves. We talk about making the meet about us. We need to stay in our purple zone and just focus on us so that we can do our best.
I'm looking back at the scores. You guys have had some remarkably close meets.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that kind of prepares you for anything at this point, right?
Yeah, I think
Or
it.
does it really hammer home the refinement aspect of it? Like, this is how tight things could be.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just motivation, just because we know that like the meets that we've had those close scores and ended up not winning. That wasn't our best meet. Those wasn't our best meets. That wasn't a full complete meet to like our best potential. So I think it's just motivation that we can come that close, not on our best day. So like, what can we do whenever we, you know what I mean, are all in and all hit?
I would be agreeing with you, but it would mess up the recording. So I'm not even.
Okay.
Did you ever compete out there in Utah during like your junior career?
I haven't competed in Utah. I don't think I've been to the state of Utah. I've competed in Colorado though. I think that's the closest I've been.
Obviously, the goal for you two is to, like a couple other gymnasts, to get home to the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Right.
I'm sure that's on your mind a little bit, right?
Right.
To make it to nationals.
Yes, I'm super excited. That would be really cool to compete in Dallas again.
This is gonna be a floor competition. You're not gonna be on podium at the regional, right? It'll be like a normal meet at home or an SEC meet.
Yeah, I think it'll be. It's not a podium.
Okay. Yeah. Does that make much of a difference? The floor seemed the bounciness of the floor on podium. Was that something you had to take into account in Huntsville, or was that not much of a factor?
I think it's an adjustment always. I think competing anywhere other than the PMAC is an adjustment at the beginning, but not competing on podium isn't gonna affect us, I don't think.
I think it's interesting that I would think the beam would be the hardest thing on a podium to get used to because it's already elevated and then you're double elevated. It's not?
Not really. I don't think so.
You can tell I've never done beam.
I would think it's vault. I mean, you're running down there, and you know there's a cliff at the end of vault.
I personally like the podium, so
worried me a little bit.
I think I like all events on podium. So
You do?
yeah.
Is it just because it's more springy, more forgiving? What do you like about it?
It normally adds a little more bounce, I feel like, for me personally. So you have to get used to it, obviously, but I like it a little bit better.
Is it because you can go bigger? I mean, is that the idea, or is it just less painful?
I think both.
Again, Scott and I don't really do much gymnastics on free time, so no idea. All right, you're free to go.
Thank you.
Like, what are you doing in gymnastics?